I'm Stephanie with RPad.TV, and with me right now is the Jay Wilson, game director of Diablo III. Jay, we have a lot of questions. Obviously, when can we pick up this game? But most of all, it's been a long journey between D2, D3. What's been the biggest difference, technically, that you can boast about this game?
Well, I mean, for us, the biggest thing that we focus on is the new 3D engine, the deeper combat, and a lot kind of bigger investment in story than we made versus the previous games. I realize that's three things. You asked for just one. Sorry, you get three.
That's okay. I want it all. We need to know these things. This is what we want. Well, of these things, technology is different, and we now have this full 3D. Hardcore fans that cling to that, isometric gameplay, do you think they have any reason to be worried about this 3D?
Absolutely not. I mean, for us, a 3D engine is just graphical technology. It has nothing to do with gameplay. Choosing to be an isometric game, whether it's a 3D engine or a 2D engine, doesn't matter. We can still deliver the same gameplay, as we've shown with our RTS titles.
What has it opened up for players? What do you think they're going to get out of this more than they did D2?
I mean, a lot of it is a 3D engine makes your world more vibrant. It makes the world feel more real. It allows us to add things like physics engines and crazy particle effects, so their heroes can feel more epic, so that monsters can get dismembered in bigger chunks that bounce around the world, and that's awesome. So in general, I would say it adds a lot more awesome.
I think we want more awesome. That's
more
good.
Awesome.
That helps me. Now, for these new classes we have to look forward to, I mean, what have been your favorites so far?
Well, it's funny when people ask me that question, it's always like, oh, choose your favorite child.
Oh.
And it's like, oh. But so I've come up with I have a designer answer and a gamer answer.
Okay, can we get both?
Yes.
Okay.
As a designer, my favorite class is the monk, because it's the one I spent the most time on. And so when I worked a lot on a lot of the classes, but the monk was really, I focused on the most and spent a lot of time on. Almost every ability that the monk uses was something that I worked and helped come up with. So, and then as a gamer, barbarian, because I like breaking stuff.
Who doesn't? It must be crazy.
I don't know. I don't know why we have other classes. As a gamer, I don't know why we have other classes.
You gotta love the demon hunter. I know I'm gonna have to mess around with that a little bit.
Sure, little arrows and stuff, but axes.
Okay, another question here. It's been a long journey between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. What has it been like inside Blizzard Entertainment during this last month leading up to this launch?
The last month has really been pretty fantastic, because once you're a month out of a Blizzard game, like, everything is pretty much solid. You're trying to work out some technical issues, so we've got some people still sweating bullets, but for the most part, the team is just excited. Like, once you've shipped a Blizzard game, you've done one of the hardest and best things you can do in the game industry. And so to be a part of that is pretty gratifying.
Now, for people who are new to the series, Diablo 3 might be their very first adventure. What would you like to tell them if they're maybe a little hesitant about taking that first step into this really scary, dark world?
Well, the main thing I tell them is that Diablo 3 was really designed for a person who's never played the previous games. That the story doesn't rely on you knowing a lot of the previous games. The game's really simple to get into. It's probably Blizzard's easiest game to pick up and play, and we pride ourselves on having games that are pretty easy to pick up and play. So I would say if you have any hesitation, then don't. Give it a try. It's a pretty awesome game, and it's pretty easy to get into.
Now, conversely, for veteran players, Diablo 2, what do they have to look forward to? I mean, you're talking easier to get into, as in, a little more welcoming. How will these players be rewarded?
Oh, well, those players are going to blow past the easy part pretty quick, and they're going to get to the real meat of the game, and that's what we're most excited about, because the high-end, kind of high-difficulty play is very, very challenging. We feel much more challenging than the previous games. And our combat model is a lot deeper, and so it allows for players to leverage a much higher degree of skill in playing the game. So we think it's just going to be a far more engaging long-term game in a lot of ways than the previous ones. I realize that's saying a lot, because the previous games were beloved for a decade now, but we really feel like Diablo 3 can do just as well, if not better.
Do you have anything you want to say to these people who've been with you for over a decade waiting for this?
Everyone who's waited for Diablo this whole time, I would say we really feel like we've made a game worthy of the Blizzard name, worthy of the wait, We really hope you love it. And if there's anything you don't like about it, you should tell us, because we haven't gone away. We're still going to work on it. We're still going to try and do everything we can to make sure that Diablo 3 is the best Diablo game ever.
All right, you heard them, Diablo fans. The forums, they're there for a reason. Use them, talk your heads off. Jay, thank you so much. Everybody, Diablo 3.